been sad or I've been numb. Trying to understand the life I've lived, the things I've done, and the chemicals in right. But how I wish they were, and I was never told to fight a ghost that I could never see. You said I was a mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. But what if I had told you I was human? What if I had told you I was human? The colours in my head have turned to one. A world of shades and monochrome I've grown to love and know. Been existing in a haze, miserable but comfortable, till the symphony of sirens in my head began to play. You said I was a mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. But what if I had told you I was human? What if I had told you I was human? You said I was a mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. A mermaid when I sang you fell in love. But what if I had told you I was human?
Okay, so that was easily the most musically accomplished thing we've had in Livewired. Well done, you were using, yeah, definitely.
Mine would be the least most musically accomplished thing. Mine's going to be an absolute car wreck.
Still here.
It wasn't that awkward. It was very accomplished. It sounded like classical music crossed with Kate Bush, crossed with...
Who invited the Scouse Wookie?
Scouse Wookie aside, you should have heard some of the stuff we've had
That'd be a
before.
great Halloween costume.
See? See how it works? Every time.
And then also, because you're the first person to play... You're the first person we've had to play a piano.
Am I?
Yeah, so I think... yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I do like piano. It's pretty.
And you played it so well.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, thanks.
Sweet Jesus.
So we're looking at... you must have got to, grade-wise, just show off what did you get to pull off those kind of chops? Because it was quite impressive.
I'm going to try really not to sound like pretentious.
But you were grade 8,
I don't
age 9.
No, not quite. I've been playing piano since I was 3.
No.
I think my first comment was validated boys. I'm just saying.
My hands were not fully developed enough to have full lessons, so I had like 15-minute lessons.
No, because you were 3.
Because I was 3. I mean, I still
lessons.
can't reach a full octave with my right hand because I'm very small.
You're shitting me. You can't do a full octave.
Not with my right hand.
But you
So I
can
can
with your
just
left.
about. Oh yeah. So I was born with eczema, but it got infected when I was in reception because I played with Play-Doh. And it got bacteria got into it, and a lot of the tissue on my fingers are actually hardened, and so technically they're not as flexible as most people's hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn Play-Doh.
I'm not even kidding. Every time I see Play-Doh, I'm like,
God damn Play-Doh, I knew it, devil of work.
But
The smell of it, you can't eat it, it smells so good.
Imagine a God.
I know it's really ridiculous.
I was going to this complimenting you on your technical skills, and you're blaming Play-Doh.
I'm really Play-Doh for anything wrong in my life.
I was about to try and get tips off you on how to play technically better piano, and you're telling me that Play-Doh's ruined your life.
So when you were 3, you were playing piano and Play-Doh at the same. What were the pianos like? Stuck together.
Don't know how to.
We're making light of this, and it's kind of not even funny. It's like Peter Griffin.
It's been 2 decades. It's funny now. It's funny now.
Okay, so sorry. So you started. So when did you? You started lessons when you were 3, or you just started? How did it come about?
I came across the piano because my dad used to be a teacher, and my mum and I would wait for him to finish marking books in school, so we'd be walking around this empty school, and I came across a piano one day. I was like, what's that? And my mum has always been incredibly supportive of my music, and she was like, oh, you can have a look if you want, I'll let you do the whole curious thing. And I played it, and that's when I realised I had relative pitch, because within about 20 minutes I figured out how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, where I had a little lamb, and the main bit of Ode to Joy, just stuff I'd heard around. Just the melody.
You could just work it out.
Yeah, and I worked out, and it was really fun, and I was really enjoying it, and actually my earliest memory in life. And
that's a great earliest memory.
it's a brilliant one. There's definitely a lot worse that can be had. And honestly, my mum was so supportive, and we didn't have that much money as a family at the time. And I came home one day, and they bought a second-hand piano, and I started I remember that as well. And I remember just playing it and loving it, and then I started lessons, and I just kind of carried on from there. I was classically trained, picked up a bit of violin. I started learning guzheng, which is a Chinese instrument with 21 strings. That one is my best one on paper. That one I've got grade 9 in, and a national Chinese
There's a couple of
trophy.
things. I didn't know there was a grade 9, and I didn't. What's the instrument
China.
called? Sorry, I'm very.
It's China. It's called a guzheng. It's imagine a flat harp, and it's got loads of bridges on it, and you pluck one side and you push another side.
So it's like a slide, kind of like a slide guitar.
Kind of like that, except
Not.
Except more.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, except it's more strings.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
So how do you get? So you growing up in
Beijing.
Right.
So I was born in England, but my dad got a job teaching in Beijing. So we moved there when I was 2, and
This was you growing up in Beijing?
Yeah, I grew up in Beijing, and I only came to England when I was about 13, 14 to go to boarding school.
Okay.
And then I moved to Bath when I was 16 and lived with the host family while I went to college, and I stayed here for uni, and my parents have been in Beijing the whole time.
So just watching you play, you were carving out very. What was so rewarding watching you play? As you were channeling, you were just throwing out your song, but there was an amazing kind of articulation of piano playing happening that was supporting that songwriting.
Thank you.
How did you get into your kind of pop in with it?
Well, I was in a boarding school, and I started writing pop songs, or songs basically,
Over
piano.
here?
Yeah, in England, in Surrey. And I saw a guitar, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I don't know why I never thought I could play guitar, self-taught guitar. And I was like, cool, this is kind of fun. And I just did that for a while. And then I released and I went back to piano.
What artists are you listening to at this time?
Everything. Everything. One of my favourite bands. Bit of Melanie Martinez. I also listen to really mainstream pop like Halsey, bit of MCR, along with a bit of K-pop.
I've got no idea. Anything you've said.
Nope.
I'm just going to pass you around the room. I'm going to go complete disclaimer. Unless you're talking in code. Rob?
Absolutely no idea, mate.
I think I've heard of K-pop, but I don't know why.
MCR is like MC Hammer, right?
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance, guys.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. Oh, I see.
I just thought.
You can't touch this, bitch.
Did you know this? What? MCR
All
is
about
by Chemical
NATW.
Romance.
I was like such an emo little teenager. I
You
knew.
please not abbreviate it. You're dealing with people so old.
That was the
that
only
they
thing
don't
I
even know.
abbreviated.
So who are the other people that you didn't abbreviate?
Just bands you've never heard of.
Oh
You
my
don't
God.
know that.
I
You
feel
don't
so
know.
old.
I didn't know that you hadn't heard of them. Have you heard of Glass Animals?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. I
Hazy's
watched
a
them
good
live.
show.
They were really good.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, there's no need to make you feel
They're
bad.
really
I'm
good.
just-
You should just like listen to them. They're great.
I do. I mean, I listen to you.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of bands that you know that I have no idea about.
No, absolutely. I'm just making sure that we that we
Well, I
even,
know in a way.
got their names. We even got their names right.
Wait, who? Oh, it's
Oh, yeah. NATW.
It's awkward. It's awkward. It's awkward. NATW. Yeah. Anyway. So that's what.
NATW, that's what got me.
I was writing songs on piano and they were acoustic.
Let's get it back to the interview.
Sorry. NATW, that's brilliant.
I released an album a couple of years ago called Pigeons Think They're People, and it was the old genre I was in.
So what old genre was that?
Alternative singer-songwriter type thing, and maybe like with a couple of weird sounds in there occasionally. And
And where do you think you are now, or how's that shifted?
well, I was making that music, but that's not really the music I listen to. And it wasn't at the time either. I like electronic, I like weird stuff where you've used samples of people screaming and then like boosted the low end to make a synth. Like, I like stuff like that. And I woke up one day, I was like, I'm going to make that. And I just switched genres completely to something that's more authentic and self-expressive of who I actually am as a person now. Because I'm no longer scared of kind of being a bit strange.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense,
No,
yeah,
makes
you kind
absolute
of stop thinking about what people think of you.
I think that's sorry, but I think that's a real turning point when songwriters become songwriters is the fear of people.
Fear of judgment.
Yeah, and you kind of throw it off, and the fear of people reading into what goes on in the lyrics, but actually that's what they're meant to do. So it's a really interesting point. I just thought you
No,
made.
it was a huge turning point because it wasn't just like for me as a person; it was also my music as well. So before I would hold back my voice a lot, and then now I'm like, I'm gonna use a sample of me going and chuck it in a little break. And that's genuinely on not the last EP, but the EP I released before that.
But you killed tonight, and
Mm-hmm.
what was so amazing is that, like, if someone was like, "Well, what was it like?" It's kind of like
Just say drugs.
Well, it's interesting.
Someone said that once, and I couldn't think of a different word to describe it.
Can I just interject there because I think seeing what you
I am
did
very
tonight.
sober.
Well,
Just, I don't
you're
think
the
that's
only one,
wrong.
I think. But I think what like tonight must have been like watching Kate Bush or something for the first time in the 70s. I imagine for some people because it's that kind of. For me, it's that kind of level of different where you kind of you're okay, this is, and it's totally. It's like the other guys. It's like you're watching something and you're going, wow, this is so different from the large majority of the stuff that we're seeing out there.
Yeah,
That just really warms your heart, doesn't it? Because I just write miserable songs, and I hope people are going to like them. But you guys,
But I like your
mix it up.
miserable songs.
Yeah, I
They're
like them
miserable
too.
songs.
Yeah, I freaking love them. But like, no, what you're doing is so different in the sense that it must have been like those kind of moments of people watching Kate Bush for the first time and going, wow,
I think it's because the undercurrent of it is so well articulated, so well crafted, so well executed, and then you're also you're saying what you want to say. It's so you've got such a singular voice with that. That's wherein what I was like so powerful. It's not like somebody's just like, what's I going to say? Bah! And you're just like, that's wonderful,
That's a great
but can we call someone? The whole thing was like very well crafted and executed, and it was coming at you like from a number of different angles, and you know what you're doing. I know you're dodging the question when I'm like, so like whatever. But you're dodging it. Like, you know, you're an excellent piano player. You're an excellent songwriter. There's some great stuff going on here that puts that set together, and it's clearly considered, and it's clearly this, and it's clearly that, and that's what holds people for like the whole thing, and that's what's such a joy to watch. Anyway, sorry, that's me done. That's me done. But I just want to say a huge thank you for you coming down and playing.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for coming down and doing the podcast, because we really appreciate it. Kerensa, everybody.
I have no merch. Please.
There you go.